Uh, so, what's up? What's up, Ankit? We're live now.
Oh, we are? Okay, I was just watching us go absolutely loco over Hotline Bling. Oh my God. Hello, 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 hello. Gadgetwala in the house.
There's lots of people already online. So, thank you guys for coming early. We are actually early. We're like 3 minutes ahead of schedule. So, anyone who's joining us slightly later, you'll have to rewind and watch this part of Ankit's facial. What is this? Um, what do we call this?
I'm probably going to have to mute myself because otherwise I'm just going to listen to me with a delay of a few seconds. Miss Chitness, you want that video? I'm going to ask Bharat for that entire video, like I've been asking him before this live started as well. And unfortunately, we've only found an 11-second clip so far, but I'm sure there's a one and a half
Yeah, there's
minute
probably a one
version
and a half
somewhere.
minute
You
version.
want
So.
to tell people where that video was shot and what was going on in our heads, Bharat?
Actually, we just spent like 4 days in like snowy New York State, and then we'd eventually gotten some time off, and we'd like driven to what outlets
Yeah,
to do some
premium outlets. Yeah.
to do some shopping. So then we were like, just like because we were so frustrated, Ankit was like playing this song, and I started dancing randomly, and he recorded this, and uh, so that was fun times, man.
It was fun times. Okay, somebody is writing, and to be fair, it's possible. Dhondial CP. Sorry, I don't know Gadgetwala. So, Bharat, be a good host and introduce me. Yeah.
Arey yaar, these people probably know you better than they know me. So, Gadgetwala is Ankit Vengurlekar, who spent his entire life in tech. He's one of the guys who I used to watch before I started iGyaan. And funnily enough, I didn't recognize him at like some BlackBerry event, I think.
Yeah, there was a BlackBerry.
And then he walked up to me and he's like, "Bro, amazing stuff. I've been watching your videos." And I'm like, "Kaun hai be?" And then I recognized him. And then since then, it's just been like madness because we've done so much nonsense together. It's not even funny. And then Ankit eventually jumped ships from being a tech journalist on television to being a tech journalist by himself to being a tech journalist for a tech editor. I'm sorry, for one of the leading dailies for tech in India. And then he's jumped ship all the way to like a brand. So right now he works at Xiaomi, but he's not here as a representative of Xiaomi. He's here as Ankit Vengurlekar. So I'll make that very clear and not gonna discuss a lot about Xiaomi. As much as I would like to know the next leaked phone, which he probably has in his pocket, we're not gonna discuss too much of that. I do want to point out something that is really great that has been happening since the lockdown is started. Is that a lot of Indian companies and like India in itself has sort of stood together kind of really well. I mean, there are special people, let's call them that, who have not listened to the advice really well and who have taken this very lightly. But in general, the industry, tech industry in general, has been very positive about this and has come out, and even Xiaomi, even though we're not going to speak about it, has donated tons of masks and medical gear to essential personnel. So I think that is absolutely amazing. And all of these tech companies do deserve a round of applause. I mean, even companies like Mahindra are stepping up. They're working on setting up ventilators. Overseas in the US, Elon Musk has converted one of his factories to manufacture ventilators. So I think like the tech industry in general has become like sort of a beacon of hope in this situation where like everyone's doing their bit to get this going. Thoughts?
No, I absolutely agree with you, and I think it's more than just a moral responsibility, right? Because any business in today's day and age, Bharat, any business thrives on the society and the community.
Yeah.
And because of the goodwill and patronage of millions of people, brands like Xiaomi, other consumer electronic brands, any consumer facing brand has become what it has become. And I think the true test of the character of a company or an individual is always in times of trouble and in times of struggle and disaster and difficult times, basically, right? When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Right.
And
I
it's
think you
been
should remove the pizza from your head when you're discussing serious matters, to be quite
why?
honest.
Why? No, it's okay. It's okay. The pizza on my head is okay. Uh, we're also going to say hello to a lot of people. So I think good amount of stuff is happening. A lot more stuff needs to keep happening. And a lot of people keep saying that doctors and medical professionals are the first line of defense, which is not actually true. The first line of defense is you, each and every person out there. Doctors and medical professionals are the last line of defense.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's the last resort if you have to go to them,
Yeah.
So hats off to everyone who's trying to do their bit to make life slightly easier, slightly more bearable, slightly more fun. And hats off to you, Bharat, for even coming up with this idea, for doing this live and inviting me on it. So thank you so much for that.
I mean,
Priyanka Seth is asking, why do you look like that? Unlit. Ankit. Yes.
unlit.
I'm just trying out really cool filters with the Snap camera because, I do Zoom video calls with my team all day long. So I was just bored of the regular person. So I thought, let me do that.
Yeah, and that's another thing, that work from home, like infrastructure wise, I was quite skeptical about this whole thing working out, like staying at home. But like, touch wood, till now, internet has been fine. People have been working from home great. Like, all of these things have been working well. So now you're hoarding toilet paper for everyone. Okay, no, but let's talk about like impact on technology. So like we had so much happening with respect to like launches, and like this is like a peak time for the tech industry in general.
It
And
is.
like the year is closing for India, and a new financial year is starting, which means that companies have their own new allocations for budget, for new products, for everything. So what happens in a state like that, and what kind of an impact do you think that this will have on the tech industry, especially in India?
Well, so I think it suffices to say that the entire world, puri dunya mein, 2020 is going to be a year unlike anything any of us have ever seen. We are in our 30s. We are not old enough to have witnessed what life was when any of the big wars were fought
Right.
across the world. This is, and the other epidemics or pandemics that have happened, they have been in different parts of the world. But this is the first time कि इंडिया में इतना उसका impact पता चल रहा है, right? It's going to be if I may use the analogy of the toilet paper on my head, it's going to be a pretty shitty year from the perspective of just regular expectations from everyone, right?
Right.
Business is going to be down, economy is already down, not just in India, everywhere. Look at the dollar, look at the depreciation of Indian rupee versus the dollar. It's going down the flush. The economy is down the dump. And nobody has a magic wand, expecto Petronas, to just, uplift the economy. It's going to take months or probably years for the economy to get out of this. And every business is suffering. Every business is suffering.
Right.
So I think as customers, Indian customers कभी-कभी बहुत ज़्यादा unrealistic रहते हैं. So customers have to maybe get more realistic, and be slightly sympathetic to businesses as well. You know what I'm talking about, right, Bharat?
Right.
I mean, we've seen the kind of comments people give. And unfortunately, even some people from the tech media fraternity itself, the expectations are completely bonkers and unrealistic from businesses and companies. But I think 2020 and 2021 are going to be very challenging years. As we speak, Bharat, I know we are not talking so much about Xiaomi, but as we speak, I just want to give you an example of how close to home the situation and the problem is.
Right.
Just yesterday, we shared that the Mi 10, which is our flagship for me, which was supposed to launch on 31st. And everyone was fully pumped and all set because this was the first Mi big flagship coming after so many years in India. But that entire plan's been put on hold, right?
Right.
Because you obviously can't go ahead with anything. Supply chain is in lockdown, after sales is in lockdown, delivery and couriers are in lockdown,
Right.
production is in lockdown, which is probably why you or other people can't make so many videos as well.
Right.
So it's a very, very challenging time. I just think all of us need to be far more sensitive and empathetic and compassionate to not just each other in our own houses. So we're not throwing things at each other and screaming matches going on in the house. But even towards businesses, right?
Right.
Businesses are run by individual, and every individual has a personal struggle that they're dealing with as well in these times.
I mean, more it's the understanding is that people assume that once this is over, like everything will go back to normal, and like it'll just be like, oh, gone. Let's start buying phones and selling phones again. And unfortunately, that's not what's going to happen. And like as we speak, 21 days or like a month of being in lockdown or shutting down business for a lot of new companies, for a lot of young companies, means going out of business. And that is something that people don't understand as a reality. Supply chain will get affected. Things that you're get used to getting, parts, 30 days delay means it's like cumulative delays in everything, in manufacturing, in deliveries, in packaging, in everything. So I mean, if 21 days, and if that is the end, as April 15th, if we are taking it, and if everything goes according to plan, even then it'll take us at least a few months.
But really, do you think that after
It's not.
15th April, life is going to go back to
It,
normal?
it's
I don't
not.
think people should keep that expectation.
I mean, I'm not keeping that expectation, which is why I'm saying if everything goes according to plan and we do manage to somehow stop the spread of this and everything goes back to normal, life goes back to normal on April 16th, then even then it'll take a few months, if not a year, for the industry to normalize all over the world. Because even if India gets out of it, everywhere else in the world, the pandemic is still there. And it may not end so simply for everyone here as well.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Okay, Pranav Hegde, hi. Cute Devil, Shivanan, hi. Chetan, hi. Siddharth, hi. Siddharth Kohli is asking, by the way, Bharat, when is the Dream Office Part 2 coming?
I mean, we've already done 2 parts, by the way. But part 3 is actually on Ankit's Gadgetwala YouTube channel. If everyone has not gone and watched that, they should do that now. That was a fun video too, man. You should come again and do like an updated version of that.
Definitely.
Once you can come to Delhi.
Once I can fly to Delhi. Hobbs, is he joking? Why is he not taking it seriously? Yo, Hobbs, I'm in my house. Bharat is in his house. We're doing this over Skype and
He lies.
YouTube.
I'm in my office.
I mean, sorry, yeah, your home plus office plus iGyaan studio. We are taking this very seriously, buddy. We are. We're also not losing our sense of humor in these serious times, and I don't think we'll ever do that because that is my coping mechanism for any difficult time in life.
Yeah, as it should be for everyone. I mean, what do we have if we don't have laughter? And the fact that, it would be more frustrating if we didn't have the internet, and the fact that we have the internet and I can now call my friend and discuss this in front of you guys, I think that makes it slightly better.
Can you imagine? That would be absolutely crazy. Badshah, Priyanka said, were you guys born yesterday? Where were you guys during 1992 riots, lockdown, or even during Surat plague? Just that life was simpler then. The pace of life was right. We have paced ourselves too much. Priyanka, you do have a point. We were not born.
I was very tiny to even realize that
Exactly.
something like
We
that
were
happened.
not born yesterday, and 92 riots. I have very, very vivid and very, very scarring memories of living in Bombay and the riots happening all around us. Very, very clear, vivid memories. But the way the brain functions is wherever there is a huge traumatic memory, your brain kinda tries to, like one of my friends says it, your brain puts it in the attic because you don't want to access that memory all the time because it is so painful, right? So yes, we have faced lockdowns before, but I mean, we have worked, and fortunately or unfortunately, we enjoy a certain amount of privilege today. The world is a different place.
Yeah.
internet is there. It's a very, very different world. So we are fully in sync with what everyone's going through or has gone through. These are difficult times, but doesn't mean that we get all serious and bogged down. We have to be sensible and sensitive, but we can still keep smiling, keep the cheer up, because why not? Like, for example, look at Bharat's cheap Supreme Topi from Sarojini Nagar market.
Excuse me. I
did
also
it
have a
only for the reaction.
Supreme pillow from
Said it
Sarojini
only.
Nagar market. Okay, it's not just the
सुप्रीम का
toki.
पिलो तो ले आया है, तो सुप्रीम क्या पिलो यूज कर रहा है?
सुप्रीम के भाई के पास पिल्लो ही नहीं है, मैं ले आया था before the lockdown thing happened. Now I have it. He can't come and collect it only. What do I do?
Does this give you supreme sleep?
सुप्रीम की टोपी पहननी पड़ रही है because बाल कटवाने नहीं जा पा रहे हम लोग. I tell you.
तेरे पास अगर मीट ट्रिमर होता तो तू कर लेता.
मेरे
By
पास
the way,
meat trimmer
Priyanka
है.
Seth, Priyanka Seth, if you're watching this, thank you very much. This is what I am chugging down right now. She's got me miso soup. I don't know where it's from, but I'm addicted to miso soup. I love Japanese food. So thank you so much. That's exactly what I'm sipping on right now.
Okay, so we do have a few questions. Vatsal, yes, Ankit is from Mumbai. Right now he's stuck
No,
in,
I'm in
he's in
Bangalore,
Bangalore, but because he works for Xiaomi now, and that's why he's moved. And I think he's happier in Bangalore. I've been looking at his updates. Weather is much better, right?
It's beautiful. No, it's really nice. I love Bangalore. I love the house that I have here in Bangalore.
Right.
And it's a brand new city. I'm 37 years old, and at this age, to have a complete reboot and reset of life is a great feeling.
And you're doing it again now.
Yes. People who know me, they know this, that every few years I like to rejig and reboot my life.
Right.
I have immense respect for people who take one thing and they do it for years. I was at CNBC for 10 and a half years because I loved it. Every day was new and fresh.
Right.
But after that, I've always wanted to reinvent myself every couple of years. And so that's what I'm in Bangalore for. And I love it. And Bharat, once all of this clears out, you got to come here. You got to shack up with me, and let me show you Bangalore. There's so much cool stuff.
I've always been to Bangalore only for the day, and I always leave by the evening. And the only thing that bothers me is that going to Bangalore from Delhi is quicker than going from airport in Bangalore to the hotel that I'm staying at. And that's the only reason I've been staying away from Bangalore.
It's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle. But, as someone who, Gagandeep Singh is giving out like amazing, wow, super chat. Yay, that's so sweet, Gagandeep. Thank you. No, Bangalore has a whole different vibe, man, and I absolutely love it. The food is great because I love South Indian food. I don't know about you. Priyanka is also in Bangalore, so she will show you Bangalore. And it's a great city. It's a great place, man.
A few guys were asking why I wasn't making videos frequently. And why I was gone for 2 months. I mean, I'm gonna do like a conversation video on that as well, but there were some things going on, and we are rethinking certain things. But I will have a detailed video on that. So I've been wanting to do it. I've just been pushing it away a little bit because I don't really like talking about downtimes as much as I like talking about uptimes, if you know what I mean. So.
Oh my God. Okay, dude. This is
no innuendo. No innuendo. Yeah. And Gagandeep saying, thanks a lot, bro. You are awesome as well. Thanks for sending in the super chat.
Congratulations on 1 million, Bharat. My God. I think I've seen your journey right from the first few thousand subscribers. And I think I used to say this for the longest time that very few creators in India have the kind of aesthetic production quality and just, overall attention to detail the way you do. It's a very, very international aesthetic, maybe because a lot of your family is internationally placed and they live there, and maybe because you traveled a lot more. But I love the aesthetic, and hats off to you for being at it for years. Kitne saal ho gaye?
It's going to be 10 years in June. So
that's epic, man. So 1 full decade of giving your life to this. That's absolutely commendable. And 1 million is a pretty massive achievement. You should be very, very proud of that. It's amazing.
I am super proud of it. And like the fact that 1 million people want to be a part of my journey is absolutely amazing. But more importantly, like the reason why I don't talk about the million as much is because like I don't look at this as numbers. It's more like if I can reach out to two people and help them in a certain way, that's my agenda. It's always been that way. So it's never, I've never looked at numbers. I don't care how many, literally I don't care how many views I get on videos and how many, I just want to do the right thing in the right way. And because I'm a little OCD with aesthetic, I want to do it in a nice aesthetic as well. I shoot so many of my videos because of the simple fact that I'm not happy with certain things, and that's why my content is also slower. But I rather have it better and better quality than slower, I feel. Vipul Anand, thanks a lot. Do you see OnePlus launching a phone in mid-April? Well, if everything goes as planned and if all the companies are in good shape, as soon as the global lockdown sort of gets over, I think all companies will jump back into the launching scene. And some companies do have products ready. So Xiaomi does have a phone ready to launch. OnePlus does have a phone ready to launch. I'm sure Samsung also has like tons of phones ready to launch. So all of that will happen once the world does settle from this crisis, because they can't just launch it in certain markets. They need to launch it all over the world, and they need to have their supply chains worked out as well. So I think all of that will come back. Atharva has been asking this: is the MacBook Air 2020 good for students? Please reply. Ankit, why don't you answer this question?
My response is pretty standard for any gadget which is not a Xiaomi gadget, which is if you can afford it and if you like it, go for it.
Okay, I'll give you a good answer, not a diplomatic one, since now Ankit has jumped ship. He can't be true to his...
No, but listen, by the way,
Gadgetwala.
I use, nothing like that. I mean, I use a MacBook Pro, and I've used a MacBook Pro for the last 7-8 years of my life, through me launching my own video business company to us creating content together at Fame. I've always used a MacBook. And as a creator who constantly shoots and edits videos, by the way, I also, inspired by you, DJ Crimp, I've started making my own music using GarageBand.
That's awesome.
So all of that is possible only because of Mac and the amazing apps and software they have. So not diplomatic at all. I love MacBooks.
Okay. Why doesn't Xiaomi launch the laptop in India?
Well tried.
Okay. Let me answer that guy's question first. Let's jump to all of this in a second. Atharv, it's a great product. It is expensive compared to other laptops, but it does offer up a certain suite of services, including their cloud, which is absolutely amazing if you're a student. Some other apps that do come with Apple, which are absolutely free, are also really good if you start using them. So if you're planning on getting a MacBook Air and you think that the price and everything is right, then it's definitely one of the good laptops to buy. Let's come back. What were you saying about the Xiaomi laptop?
Manu actually said it in one of the videos at the beginning of the year about how they're evaluating the Xiaomi laptops for India, and how it's such a difficult decision because everyone knows that basically HP, Dell, and Lenovo have majority of the market, right? For Xiaomi to do anything different,
Right.
And not just, people have a perception that, things are just inexpensive, but that's not at all the case. It's about giving the best possible specs with a great quality at a great honest price. And I think when they manage to crack that secret sauce,
Right.
it'll be a good time for them to do that. So definitely they're evaluating it. And you guys should stay tuned to Xiaomi's handles for updates on that. A lot of questions coming, Bharat. I think we should take those.
I mean,
Thank
it's
you. Hello, Earthwala. Thank you. Shekhar says, Ankit sir and Bharat sir, best among Indian tech reviewer. That's so sweet.
Yeah, that's like, Shekhar, you're the best out of the best in the chat right now.
That is so sweet. That is so sweet. Everyone, Dheeraj, Nishant, Gurminder. Okay, lately I'm seeing a lot of paid reviews on YouTube by some YouTubers. They are literally praising shitty cameras, saying it's so cool and blah blah. What's your take on this? Gurminder is asking this question. Bharat, I think you should answer this.
Well, the thing with any medium is that everyone has a form of business. Some people get into it purely for the sake of earning a living out of it, and for them, their morals or whatever don't really matter. I feel like it doesn't matter what the authenticity of the content that you're putting out is. It's more about just purely earning the buck and getting away with it. So once you do get to a point, and like this whole modern word of influencer is more about the number of people you can get to follow you. And once you get to that point, it's just basically companies will pay you to flog their stuff. It's happened throughout history, throughout time. Anyone who's famous has always been a spokesperson for a company that manufactures and sells stuff. So for technology, what has happened is now that a lot of reviewers have become celebrities and they've now started to sort of endorse products. The only thing with the internet is that there's not a lot of transparency. When you would see endorsements in the past, you would see them as advertisements. Now you see them as opinions. And that is something that kind of does annoy me a lot. And I do see that from a lot of new brands pushing out reviews for their products. But the guys who are doing it, they're doing it just purely for the money, and which is why it happens so much.
It's definitely an area of concern, Bharat. And I think ASAI, which is the Advertising Council of India, is looking at setting forth guidelines just the way US has those guidelines, right? Where it is mandatory for you to make a disclosure that this video has been paid for by a brand. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Like you rightly said, if you have an influence, if you have a captive audience, definitely you can talk about any product that you think your ideals are aligned with. But in India, because we don't have any such disclosure norms or regulations, koi karta nahi hai disclose, right? Everything is under the carpet. In fact, I think the penny drop moment even for US was jab PewDiePie did a bunch of paid stuff for Disney, right? I think. And
I don't remember what it was.
And that stuff blew up, right? Because he did not properly disclose that this is paid content. And then they reject the entire disclosure mechanism in US for online bloggers and influencers and all of that. I think India this needs to happen, and this needs to happen ASAP. It's good for the sanity and the sanctity of the entire space, right?
I feel, but the only real issue is that policing something like this in a country like India is more difficult than it is in something like the US.
You're absolutely
right.
And
just by putting filters, we are a country of multiple languages. So in the US, you can just put filters on certain things in the US, and then like AI can pick it up. Here, you have multiple languages, you have multiple conversations. Plus, if you do crowdsourced policing, then people out of sheer hate tend to flag things off as well. So I feel that policing something like this, I mean, we've not been able to police traffic. So policing virtual things is slightly more difficult, I feel.
Definitely. Vatsal Pandya is asking, where are you from? Mumbai, Gadgetwala. Me, Goregaon ka rahe aata. I used to live in Goregaon, and then I've lived in Andheri, Lokhandwala my entire life, basically. Atharva is asking, why doesn't Ankit put out content on his channel frequently? Because I'm not an active YouTuber anymore, but I am extremely active on my Instagram.
And plus, he's doing some cool stuff for Xiaomi, man. Those photography tips, that light photography thing, man, that was amazing. I'm actually going to attempt doing that. I'm not a big photography guy. I'm more a video guy. So that whole light photography thing, I was really intrigued by it. I want to do that long shutter, be the
It's too cool. And of course, like it's you love. I love playing tinkering with the cameras and different torchlights, and also I do a lot of photography things. Thank you for saying that, Bharat. So on the Redmi India YouTube channel, I do a series called the Redmi Project, which is a bunch of photography tips, tricks, hacks, and all of that. And on my own Instagram, which is Gadgetwala, I do a bunch of things around food, around my podcast that I host, around music, around painting and art, just a bunch of life things.
Right. For a lot of guys who are asking about Xiaomi, I'll reiterate for those who are joining us slightly later, is that Ankit is not here in a professional capacity speaking about Xiaomi. He's putting out whatever information he feels like putting out. This is more a conversation between me and Ankit Vengurlekar, the Gadgetwala, not Ankit Vengurlekar, the Xiaomi wala. So,
Xiaomi
wala. For any other questions related to Xiaomi, I think you should defer to like their Twitter handles and like annoy them there as you guys have been doing in the past, because
Hey, they don't annoy it. I mean, we welcome
of
all.
course you will say that now, you diplomatic man.
Oh
But
God, please, yeah, you know me. I'm generally this person. I don't have to pretend that I'm someone
actually,
else.
things don't annoy him very easily. I get really pissed off at certain things, and he's like, "कोई बात नहीं Bharat, कुछ नहीं होता." Somebody was asking me if I can review the dual driver earphones. Funnily enough, I did get them before the whole lockdown thing happened, so I might review them. He's wearing them right now, so I might review them. I
You know,
also
one cool thing about this, and obviously, I mean,
don't start selling your stuff.
take my word with a truck of salt because obviously I work with Xiaomi, full disclosure there. But I did not know this when I bought them. And yes, we buy all our own gadgets. We don't
Yeah.
get free fund stuff even to the employees. The mic on this, Bharat, check it out.
It's quite cool.
So
I mean, I'm using this.
oh my God.
Like Tamjam.
And I'm using this. So if my audio is okay for you guys, I am speaking through the Mi Dual Driver earphones. The mic is just fabulous quality, not just to talk to everyone, but like I recorded podcast episodes using this mic here. So that's pretty cool. So yeah. What is this Lajo thing? Kunal Narayan keh raha hai,
Lajo. So like I used to do this thing on iGyaan TV where we used to do like a tech roundup. It was way in the back. So I used to play characters. Once I was like
So let's hear Are Lajo.
Baba Pedal. And once I was like, you remember Uddham Singh, I think was the character, right?
Uddham Singh, huh?
Yeah. So I was like the spoof of parody of Uddham Singh where I used to converse with my cow. And the cow's
hear
name
it.
was Lajo. Are Lajo, जन्मदिन है मना ले. Like I used to have sunglasses and everything.
That is too cool. Oh my God. Why don't you do that anymore? You should totally
I
open your
might.
videos like that. Are Lajo.
Are Lajo.
Subscribe kiye ho ka?
Which of you is helping me with tech support? The audio on my system is playing up. Throw it away, Priyanka. Buy a new one. There is me helping you. Okay, bye.
Okay, Isha Chitnis is asking this question. How should people use their YouTube/social media channels responsibly right now when the whole world is in a crisis? Priorities have changed.
I think
right?
the only thing that you need to do for a situation like this is only give advice to follow WHO guidelines and only share that information and only share governmental notices from official sources. None of the tweets, none of the made up stuff is going to work in this moment. And it should only be the right content. And if you're giving your opinion on certain things, don't flag it as an advisory, don't flag it as information, just say opinion. And that's the right thing that YouTubers can do at this moment. Everything else, I think, is just gray area.
So one thing that I think you've done a beautiful PSA video on your channel on iGyaan. Bharat has put together an entire sort of primer on COVID-19, what it is, how infection happens, and everything about it. So two things, absolutely agree with Bharat. Only official sources should be shared. WhatsApp University पे जितना रायता फैलते रहता है ना, please stay away from all of that and try and keep your boomer parents away from all of that as well. But I think a question is more about personal handles as well.
Right.
And I think something that we've been saying throughout is, yes, the times are tough, but also really tap into this time that you're getting because you're locked down. Tap into what you have always wanted to do. It's been 10, 15 years that I picked up a paintbrush and watercolors and a canvas book. My daughter is in Bombay and we do WhatsApp video calls. And for hours, we are sitting and painting and drawing together. And that is therapeutic. Do things that make you happy. I know a lot of people are suddenly like, workout karo, 21-day abs challenge, 6-pack abs banao. And I'm like, oh my God, just calm down, everyone. You're going to be sitting at home. Don't shame people into thinking, oh my God, I'm so unhealthy. Oh my God, meri to tone nikal rahi hai. It is absolutely okay. You're under lockdown. You're going to be under stress. You're going to be emotionally eating. It's all right. But ensure that you stay healthy. And so whatever needs to be done to stay healthy, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, you do that. Don't take a formula that works for anyone else. You figure out your own formula.
Right. I mean, more than anything else is mental fitness because it starts to impact everything else. So if you don't have mental fitness, and for a lot of people, we are lucky to have a family around us, But for a lot of people, like Ankit, I'm assuming lives alone right now.
Yes,
And a lot of other people who live alone may not have people to converse with. And that becomes a really problematic situation. So for those people, find books, find movies, find shows. Just video call your friends and family whenever and as much as you can. Just don't try to
absolutely.
fall into a spiral where it starts to mess up your brain a little bit and then everything else goes downhill from there. So don't get into that.
Definitely. My God, okay. Niku Tech is like getting super angry asking me this one question.
Why
Tech
you
Guru,
left?
टेक गुरु क्यों छोड़ा? भाई टेक गुरु मैंने छोड़ा 2014 में, अब हम हैं 2020 में. इस चीज को 6-7 साल हो चुके हैं. I left Tech Guru because after doing 10.5 years of television, I wanted to explore other mediums.
Wasn't
If
it
you
because
guys,
of Reliance? You're lying.
oh God, please, are you kidding me? Not at all, not at all. No, I left because I think that was it. I was done with my journey as a television show host. And I always want to try new things. मैंने रेडियो किया, मैंने ऑनलाइन कंटेंट किया. आई वाज वीपी फॉर एन ऑनलाइन कंटेंट कंपनी जहाँ पे भरत को भी हमने एनलिस्ट किया था एज a kick-ass talent for technology and lifestyle, and we created this really cool show called Toys. Did a few episodes of that. Then I worked with Quint. I worked with First Post. I launched my own company. I traveled the country. I traveled the world. Worked with a lot of clients. So I want to keep doing new things. I don't like getting stuck in one thing.
Right.
That's why I left Tech Guru. Acha, once I don't know. Someone was asking, Bharat, why this love for the brand Porsche? This is your second Porsche car that you've bought now?
Oh, we're dwelling into my life now.
course we
Yes. The reason.
Nishan Brai was asking. Yeah.
And like I've done a video where I've sort of spoken about the car a little bit and done sort of my review on owning this car. And the reason is that I was driving the Cayenne, the first Porsche that I have for, like what, 5-6 years now. We've done some episodes driving around in that car as well.
Such a piece that is. Love it.
So, and you haven't even seen this car yet. So like once you get into this one, I think your mind about the previous one will change slightly. No, but more importantly, like I've been driving that for like what now, 5-6 years, slightly more than even 6 years now. And that has been one of the best driving cars from me. And that driving experience, I wasn't able to replicate anywhere else. I didn't want to buy another Porsche. I was more looking towards Merc and other brands. And I'm not even going to talk about all the brands because then people are going to be like, oh, brand phankta hai. But I was looking
Why are
at.
people hating all the time?
I don't know, man.
Like,
It's
why?
the internet, bro. It's the internet. You can't do anything about it. It's like, it's the inter-hate. It's not the internet, it's the inter-hate.
Wow. I have not heard that before, and it's
I just
nice.
made it
Is
up right
original?
now. Yeah.
Dude, you're smart and all. Okay.
Just smart and all. No, but like I was looking towards more two-seater mid-engine cars. Let's put it that way. And from what I felt in terms of driving experience, I wasn't really enjoying it as much. So when I drove this, and I drove it on the track, and Porsche had called me for an event, and I drove this, and out of their lineup, including the new 911s, this was the best driving feel, and which is why I just like fell in love with the car. And they wanted to do this. They wanted to entice you when they call you on the track, and they, I think, managed to basically do exactly that.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. Chummeshwari, who wants me to say Chummeshwari? Ashish Gamer, there you have. Chummeshwari. Wow, लोग पूछ रहे हैं कि पैसे वैसे कैसे कमा लेते हो यार? Like, hello, thank you very much.
यार बाहर पेड़ लगाए, जाके तोड़ लेता हूँ जब चाहिए होते.
I think only his father is allowed to ask him that question. What do I do now? I'm now the public relations and corporate communication and community head at Xiaomi India. That's what I do now. Bharat, talk about your watches. Bharat, talk about the mini figures जो तुम्हारे पास हैं. तुम्हारे mini figures के लिए तो 5,000 क्वेश्चन आए हैं. प्रणव हेगडे, तुमचा प्रश्न. अंकित, प्लीज कारचे रिव्ह्यू सुरू ठेव, आम्हाला खूप आवडतात. आशिष क्षीरसागर, थँक्यू व्हेरी मच फॉर युअर फीडबॅक. जर वेळ मिळाला, इफ आय गेट टाइम, मेबी आय विल कन्सिडर इट. राईट नाउ आय एम कम्प्लिटली पॅक्ड.
Abhishek Singh is like, Bharat, when's your next collaboration with Rajiv?
Yeah, actually, we should do a, I don't know what the word is, trilaboration, like three of us
I think it still be collaboration because it's like co means together, not two.
Okay, man. All right.
ठीक है, मतलब बैगलोर चले गए हो, लेकिन
it would have been collaboration, no?
अगर टू होता तो collaboration होता. अब को है तो collaboration. Bro, Rajiv is like, what? How should I put it? Rajiv is a person that is available when he wants to be. Let's put it
Oh,
that way.
wow. Okay. I
So
hope he's
I can speak to him, and I haven't spoken to him actually. I'll call him and find out how he's doing. In fact, and if his family and all, I'm sure everyone is safe. But I'll just have a conversation with him. If he's willing to come on a live stream with me, then we'll have him here on the live stream. How's
That's a
that?
good idea. Bharat Ankat Rajiv is bar, BAR, three horsemen. My God. Hey, okay, fun stuff. बहुत serious सवाल हो गए. What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you reading? Please to be telling.
So I'm really into car content now. So like, all I do is like follow some of
I
these
just
car YouTubers from the US, from the UK. This Shmi, of course. I do watch their content. It's of course suffering because of the whole situation in the world right now. But they've been managing to put out content. They're not in complete lockdown or isolation like we are. So I really enjoy their content, and I'm looking at whatever I can. In fact, the auto show was cancelled, but some companies, including Koenigsegg, managed to launch their cars online, as most tech companies managed to launch some of their things online, like you guys did. So they did an online launch of their cars, and I was just all over that stuff.
Koenigsegg is absolutely bonkers, aren't
Yeah.
they?
The new Jumeirah is like, again, it's a 4-door super, like a hyper car, and
God.
it creates like 1700 horsepower, and it
1700 horsepower.
yeah, and you can take your kids in the back seat. It's just mental.
Right. If you hate your kids, then
he
put
was
them in the back
he-
seat with 1700 bhp.
No, you don't have to be irresponsible with that much power in your hand. You just have. He said that I'm about to have kids, and I wanted a practical car, and I was like, okay. So he's like, I made one. He's like 4 doors, 1700 horsepower, with space for like, I think 5 suitcases or 4 carry-on suitcases as well.
Whoa.
And like crazy, insane. So like, that's the kind of stuff that I've been watching just to keep my brain away from this. Plus, I've been playing a lot of PUBG. I've been playing a lot of Minecraft. Minecraft is like super therapeutic, and like you can get away in like 6-7 hours of just playing Minecraft. You don't realize how much time you spent, and like 21 days will go like 21 hours. Insane.
I'm trying to bring on
PUBG helmet.
yes. for you.
Military helmet level 2.
I have never played PUBG.
I
I
know.
will never play PUBG.
I know.
I don't get it. I don't get video games. I don't understand them. I'm bad at them.
I know. I know.
I don't understand.
I know you're horrible at that. We played FIFA once. I know.
जहाँ पे I was like, bro, ball को kick कैसे मारना है? Bro, बता ना क्या करूँ?
I was like, goal, and then 2 minutes later I was like, goal, and you're like, bro, बता ना यार.
I'm
और
so
तभी
bad
हमारे
at
पास like कैश वाला बैग आया था ना, गाड़ी खरीदने के लिए.
Oh
Remember?
God, yes, of course, of course. Okay, so are you listening to any cool artists? Anyone you discovered?
No, I just like, because I listen to a lot of Apple Radio.
Okay.
Just on iTunes. I don't really care who's playing. It's just like I put on one
Actually,
of my
to be honest, you are the person who introduced me to radio on Apple Music.
Right.
This was what, 5-6 years ago when we were in New York, and I was like, dude, what is this cool music you're playing? You remember you had rented a car and we were driving around New York, and I was like, wow, that's a cool playlist. And Bharat is like mouthing all these lyrics, and I'm like, एक तो मुझे ये गाने पता नहीं है. Second, how does he even know the lyrics? Third, where is all this coming from? So that's when you introduced me to
Yeah.
Apple Music.
So
radio.
even now, I'm like always listening to Apple Music. It just plays in the background, and I don't really need to know who the artist is as long as the music is good. I know
Yeah.
it's really bad for the artist, but I enjoy the music. That's all I can say.
Right. That's awesome. Are you reading anything? Do you read?
I
Bro,
don't
do you
read. I
even
can't read. I don't read, bro. I don't, bro.
ओए लज्जो
ना जी ना, हम ना
काला
पढ़ते.
अक्षर भैंस बराबर.
हाँ, नहीं. Reading for me is a form of
Reading text specs, that's all.
no. I'm
नीकू टेक को क्या चाहिए? एनिमे क्यों लिखे जा रहा है भाई?
He's saying he's watching anime.
तो कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशंस. एक चीज कितनी बार लिख रहे हैं?
तुम नोटिस नहीं कर रहे हो ना इसलिए.
कर लिया नीकू टेक चैट में सिर्फ तुम्हारा एनीमे ही दिख रहा है Priyanka saying, Bharat, you should do live karaoke. Bro, that is such a good idea. Girl, you're my angel. You're my darling. Oh my God.
That was a fun time. Okay, so for those who don't know, we were
Barcelona.
in Barcelona during what? Mobile World Congress? Was it
Yeah.
Mobile World Congress? Yeah, it was
Mobile
Mobile World
Congress
Congress.
2018.
Yeah, Mobile World Congress 2018. And after all the madness with the tech and everything had ended, we drove to this random karaoke bar in the middle of Barcelona. And everyone in there was Spanish. And we were the only like desi people there. And we were like singing all these songs. Like Elvis songs and like Shaggy songs. And they were
Less
like...
conversation, little more action. We sang Elvis, we sang Shaggy, and also I think we sang a Backstreet Boys song.
No, not me.
Oh man, are you serious? We should have. Maybe that was in my head, but I didn't cue in the track. Okay.
And we did find out about this other song that I have now forgotten, which was like something stupid. I don't remember the lyrics also. Like it was some crazy song and these people were singing it over there, like the locals. And we were like, oh my God, such an amazing song.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. The entire place just started chiming in. Yeah, that was awesome. That's great. Good stuff. Okay.
Thank you, Arunesh, for saying congratulations for the car. Binod
Thank
is
you,
saying...
Abhishek, for saying, Ankit, your Tech Guru show made me fall in love with technology.
Same, bro.
Thank you, Binod Acharya. Thank you.
Same, bro.
You guys are so sweet. Thank you. Okay.
एक बार बाबा कहो. Apparently.
Say Baba once.
No, he probably means, yeah, Baba.
Oh wow, Anant is challenging you. Tata Harrier एक बार test drive करके देखो.
Dude, the funny thing is,
चला के तो देखो.
Abhi, we did like this whole thing where we were like, we want a petrol SUV for the office to do car content. And we test drove like 4-5 cars and we were like, we don't want a diesel car, we want a petrol car. And in the comments, it was like, Harrier. And I was like, Harrier doesn't come in petrol.
They just launched.
But it's not available yet. So everyone's like, drive the Harrier. He's like, and people are saying, we know it's not available in petrol, but you will enjoy it. I was like, I don't want diesel. No, we know you don't like diesel, but it's amazing.
My God. बहुत fans हैं Harrier के.
Tata के. The thing is, I've owned Tata in the past. And I'll be...
No. You can't compare the Tata of the present to
the thing is that like once burnt, like I'm sure you feel it in Xiaomi as well. Once burnt, never recovered. I've owned 2 generations of Tata Safaris and after dealing with those, I don't think I'll ever become a Tata person again. To be quite honest.
This is so unfair, and not just to any brand or any company or any product, but generally in life. Come on.
I mean, I'm sure they're doing amazing stuff, bro. Like everyone loves the Harrier, so I'm sure it's an amazing car.
The Harrier is amazing. The new Nexon is amazing.
We drove the Nexon. We drove the Nexon. All of them great cars. The thing is that my experience has not been great, and I'm not saying this from a professional point of view. I'm saying this from a very personal point of view that I may not want to own a Tata right now, but I will look at the petrol Harrier when it does come out.
Awesome. Okay, Jobin John, I remember your Hotline Bling video where all you guys did was just laugh. Yes, that's one of our funnest videos. Thank you so much. Sachin, you both are my idols. Just started a channel. Hope to be as consistent and dedicated like you people are. I'm not consistent.
Neither am I.
Bharat is 10 saal ho gaye. Thanks for being in my childhood. #TechGuru, #iGyaan. Thank you so much. Thank you. You guys are really sweet. अच्छा भरत मुझे जाके अभी खाना पकाना है.
हाँ, आप जाके खाना पकाओ. Ankit, Vengurlekar, Gadgetwala, thank you for coming on iGyaan to have a conversation with these people. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll have the stream as an archive on the channel, so for those people who will watch later, enjoy it then. And we'll try and do more of these in the coming days, especially we have a lot of time, so guys can collect your questions and tweet them to us. We'll sort of answer them when we can.
I want to see Bharat Nagpal cooking. Maybe we should do an Instagram live with you cooking and me cooking.
We can do that. So go follow us on Instagram. Shameless plug. And more importantly, guys, stay safe, stay indoors. Please wash your hands for 20 seconds, no matter what you're doing. If you're getting stuff in your house, please try and clean up that stuff. Wash your hands as much as you can. I am also hearing things about people in Iran who've been indoors and just getting stuff in their houses, getting the infection. So please try and keep as clean as you can and stay away from other people as much as you can. Social distancing is important. Follow all the governmental and WHO guidelines and stay safe. And hopefully we'll get through this well and good and get back to normal lives soon enough. And we'll guys see you in a later video. Thanks a lot, Ankit, for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, Bharat. This has been so much fun. You stay safe, man.
You too, bro. See you
Cheers.
guys.